has given people more freedom to pick the places they like to live and earn a living. And lately, more Americans have been choosing Mexico, including Mexico City. CBS News correspondent Enrique Acevedo reports on how the sprawling capital, with its culture, great food, and affordable real estate, has become a work-from-home paradise, and shows us how the new arrivals are being welcomed.
The sights, sounds, and flavors of Mexico City are tempting for people looking to live the Mexican dream, like John Hyatt.
You know, the cafes, the restaurants, everything, you know, just seeing the food on the plates and people sipping coffee. It's a very pleasurable experience to just be walking up and down the street.
Born in North Carolina, Hyatt helps U.S. and Canadian firms that are currently manufacturing in China relocate to Mexico. And it's not just companies looking to come here. Mexico is now a top destination for young professionals who work remotely.
Technology has absolutely made Mexico City or living down here much easier. You know, we talk about things like rideshare apps. You know, we have all of that.
The influx of American expats is transforming some of Mexico City's most traditional neighborhoods. But some say the change was already underway.
So what I'm hearing is that the pandemic didn't really start that. It just, like with everything else, accelerated.
Yeah, accelerated. That's the perfect. It just threw some gas on the flames. It was going to happen anyway.
Rents have soared in Colonia Roma, a quiet, walkable neighborhood in a city tortured with bumper-to-bumper traffic. Here, old world charm is fading. In its place, award-winning restaurants and hip coffee shops where customers speak English more than Spanish.
Our cultures are kind of merging in many ways. Mexico is becoming more Americanized, and the United States, Americans are taking a lot more interest in Mexican culture and cuisine.
Most locals welcome the new arrivals and their dollars with characteristic Mexican warmth. But tensions are growing around what some are calling gentrification.
I think there's a positive and negative to all of this that you're mentioning, and yes, it's not just Mexico, right? That's being gentrified, as you say. There's many cities. I think that some of the positives. I think that they drive economy. I think people will get paid higher salaries.
Alexandra Demu is the founder of Welcome Home Mexico, a relocation and real estate service. She helps expats with everything from lease negotiations to school interviews for their children. She says business has been booming since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, with no signs of slowing down.
Now we have younger Americans that can work remotely, looking for a better quality of life, and they're coming now to Mexico City.
And when you say a better quality of life, what is it about Mexico City that Americans like so much?
They love the climate, they love the people, the culture, the food, the beauty. Yes, of course, safety can be an issue. And when I say quality of life, I mean, of course, we can't avoid the fact that your dollar goes a long way in Mexico, no? Yeah. Things are still relatively reasonable in Mexico.
According to State Department data, there are over 1.6 million U.S. citizens living in Mexico. But that number only includes people who have applied for legal residency, which most remote workers don't do. Mexico City's tourism agency says that just in the first half of this year, over 1.9 million foreigners arrived at the city's international airport, spending almost $2 billion on hotel stays in the capital.
Mexico has always been an important destination for U.S. travelers, as I'm sure you know. And I have to say, our Mexican hosts are incredible.
Catherine Powell is the global head of hosting for Airbnb, where she oversees the host insights and research team. She says more people are visiting Mexico and staying for longer periods of time.
So we've seen an incredible growth in long-term stays in particular. So these are stays over 28 days or more. And you mentioned Mexico. I mean, Mexico, now 1 in 5 of their nights booked are for long-term stays.
In 1978, the Mexican poet Octavio Paz said, "In general, Americans have not looked for Mexico in Mexico. They have looked for their obsessions, enthusiasms, phobias, hopes, and interests." Nearly half a century later, many wonder if this might still hold true for Mexico's newcomers. For CBS Saturday morning.
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, where I learn His truth from, and whom I continue to learn His truth from, as well as peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that are scattered on the four winds of the earth. All right, and today I'm doing a lesson, just going into what these Edomites, all right, what they're doing. And we see these devils are trying to flee from Babylon, all right, after they've realized, that Babylon is headed, all right, towards destruction, all right, and they see there's no future in their 401k, the economy is struggling, all right, and a lot of things are headed on a downward spiral. You have these shortages, these strikes from the railroad union, and you have a lot of different judgment that the Heavenly Father is setting up. But we know that they can't just flee to a different nation and find peace, because as Isaiah 48:22 says, there is no peace, said the Adawan, unto the wicked. There's no peace to the wicked. So you're not going to be able to flee and go to another land and think you're going to find your rest, because we are in the time of judgment now. All right. The Heavenly Father is executing judgment on the heathen. This is their time. All right. That the Lord is setting off the curses. And this is a time that He's pleading for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans, after turning His face. All right. Having a great, dislike towards us. All right. Yet He's keeping His covenant with us. And now the judgment for the heathen is being witnessed by the world. They're in acknowledgement of it, because they're leaving. They're taking off and they're going to Mexico. They're going to certain parts of Europe. They're going to Africa, and the Lord is still going to He's still going to catch them. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 17. It says, "Fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitant of the earth." All right. And the inhabitants of the earth, all right, are the people that dwell here. So it doesn't matter if you go to Mexico. It doesn't matter if you go to Europe. All right. The Lord is going to send missiles all across the earth. All right. Mainly to Babylon the Great. But these other nations are going to go to war, man. He's going to cause these nations to fight in World War III. And especially Europe. Europe is not the place that these people should want to flee to. And that's where they're going. They're going to these different countries in Europe. I know for sure they're going to Portugal. And they're trying to find peace. But as I just read, there's no peace unto the wicked. It says, "And it shall come to pass that he who flee from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit. And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake." And that's going to be Yahweh judgment upon the heathen. All right, it's going to be missiles, pestilence, diseases. All right, it's going to be the sword, people getting shot, race wars, and these people are trying to flee because they can see it coming. Esau does a lot of studying and reading, and this is why you see him in that spirit. So I'm gonna play another video, and hey, this is proof they're leaving. All right, many of them are leaving, and they're calling this the United States Exodus.
My partner and I were looking to slow life down and enjoy things more. And so we made a list of the top 10 places in the world. And based on our criteria, Lisbon quickly made it to the top.
We sort of see this as the California of Europe, Portugal now. And the pandemia opened eyes that you could live different places. And for me, it's only 10 horas. I can get here in 10 hours, and I'm in a different world.
Nómadas digitais que pretendem trabalhar a partir de cá, gostam da ideia de vir morar aqui perto do mar, por exemplo, e estabelecer-se cá. Há famílias inteiras que querem vir para cá, muitas delas já estão a sonhar em ter os filhos a frequentar universidades europeias. Há reformados que também vêm para cá, vendem tudo o que têm nos Estados Unidos e decidem passar a gozar a sua reforma em Portugal.
That's right. And like the elder y'all recall, he always says, you know, it's true. He says that Esau thinks he's just going to ride off into the sunset. You know, and that's what they think they're doing. They think they're going to you know, to these different nations to just kick back and relax. And the Heavenly Father is he's going to find you, man. You know, he's going to catch you. And when you least expect it, you know. So this is the book of Job. Chapter 20 and verse 24, it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. So he's gonna flee from the iron weapon, which is the ICBM missiles that are gonna be shot, all right, from these different nations, all right, because we know that all these nations are gonna have their hands on Esau's neck in these last days. It says, it is drawn and cometh out of the body, yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon it. All right, so terrors are going to come upon Esau from each and every side, man. There's going to be no escaping the Heavenly Father's judgment. All right, no one can take, you know, the tab on Esau, man. Esau's got to pay his tab. All right, so this is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 19. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. So there's going to be no rest, man. It's going to be hectic for these devils, man. All right. It says, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it. All right. So the Lord is he's going to do all these things, man. All right. He's going to let judgment, you know, drop his water on these devils, man. You know, and this is only being reported, you know, because they reporting it as people that are filing for citizenship. All right, so just imagine how many of these devils are over there not filing for citizenship, and they've already made their minds up, because these people are losing their jobs. All right, their 401k is going to shit. They're getting fired. All right, at these corporations, and they already know they're gonna lose their homes, man. So they're gonna flee. They're gonna continue to flee, especially as they see, all right, Russia, because Russia's being destroyed right now. All right, and Russia's not gonna stop. You know, once Russia's done with Ukraine, we can see through the spirit, Russia is they're on the move, man. They're going to continue to move, as well as all those other brick nations, man. So expect more of these devils to just run, man. They're going to continue to try to run and flee, and also expect those Europeans to try to come to Babylon the Great, because they're going to because those Ukrainians, those Eastern Europeans, they're going to be coming to Babylon the Great, trying to escape the judgment from over there as well, man. All right. I pray this lesson was edifying. All right. Shalom.